Now the CDF.
Good morning to the members of the press here present. We thank you for being with us here today. It's the Constitution Defenders Forum. We're here to present our statement in light of the plethora of activities that we're seeing going on within the constitutional landscape. We've been seeing a number of court cases. We've been seeing that also Constitutional Amendment Bill number 3 of 2026 has now officially entered the parliamentary processes. It was presented for its first reading before the National Assembly of the Parliament of Zimbabwe yesterday. Today it is scheduled and tabled to go for its second reading. Now the first reading is when a bill is officially introduced into Parliament, and we're going to be seeing this bill going through these parliamentary processes. But as CDF, we maintain that these bills are illegitimate and that this bill should be, it's a travesty of justice. It's essentially a coup d'etat against the Constitution of 2013 of Zimbabwe. And we have today our convener, Honorable Zimbabwe Biti, as well as our deputy convener, David Anthony Chimini, who will also be reinforcing our position in CDF today. Over to you, convener.
Thank you, Shedza. Good morning, ladies and gentlemen, members of the Fourth Estate. On the 2nd of June 2026, the National Assembly of Parliament of Zimbabwe received the first reading of Constitution Amendment Bill number 3 of 2026. On 3 June 2026, the National Assembly will commence the second reading debates on CAB 3. So today is a tragedy. Today is a big day in respect of which, without the support, consent and authority of the people of Zimbabwe, ZANU-PF is pushing an unlawful and unconstitutional bill. And in so doing, they are pushing Zimbabwe to a precipice. They are pushing Zimbabwe to a point of no return. Right from the word go, we in the CDF and other like-minded bodies and organizations argued consistently that CAB 3 is a coup against the people of Zimbabwe. That CAB 3 is a coup against the constitution approved by 3 million Zimbabweans in March of 2013. CAB 3 seeks to remove entrenched term limits and nicodemously create a life presidency, a Munumtapa kingdom for Mr. Emerson Mnangagwa. CAB 3 disastrously seeks to take away the democratic right of Zimbabweans to vote for a leader of their choice by replacing this prerogative into the hands of a parliament consisting of 280 people. The War of Liberation had as its center of gravity 1 man, 1 vote, 1 woman, 1 vote. So to remove the Electoral College from 17 million people to 280 people is a flagrant violation of the center of gravity of the War of Liberation. It's a reversal of decades and decades of the struggle for decolonization that was carried out by Africans in Zimbabwe and elsewhere. CAB 3 seeks to extend the election cycle to 7 years from the internationally recognized benchmark of 5 years. CAB 3 seeks to undermine women and gender rights, democracy and the rule of law by removing the Chapter 12 institution, the Gender Commission. CAB 3 is regrettably driven by the cartels and syndicates that now control and own Zimbabwe. A week ago, we saw a vulgar expression of their wealth in the wedding of one of their children, a wedding in which, in a country where 76% of the people are surviving on less than US $1.25 a day, gifts running into their millions were ostentatiously displaced in a gross act of consumption for the sake of consumption, accumulation for the sake of accumulation. So we will not allow these Ziganandas, these cartels, to take over Zimbabwe, to reverse our democracy, to reverse our hard-won independence? And over our dead bodies, will we allow them to reverse our constitution and to take over the occupation of the highest office in the land, namely number 1 Chancellor Road, Borodale? Zimbabweans are totally and absolutely opposed to the entire matrix of the shenanigans contained in the 22 provisions of CAP 3. The process that has gotten us today has been a farce. Parliament's public consultation process was marred with violence, manipulation, fear, and daylight thuggery. As I'm talking to you here, Emmanuel Sitima, Hama Uswa, and other student leaders are languishing in prison. As I'm standing before you right now, Mazibaba Eshanduko and many other Democrats, including war veterans who were arrested on the 17th of October 2025, are languishing in prison. As I'm talking to you right now, the CDF has given notifications of over 200 meetings, all of which have all been banned and proscribed. As I'm talking to you right now, many of our leaders, including the convener of the CDF, have been arrested, denied passports, denied the right to speak and address to people. People like Professor Lavmoma Doku has been violated and assaulted in front of the police. The parliamentary process failed to pass the constitutional test of an open democratic process. An illegitimate, irresponsible process marked by arrest, banning of opposition meetings, and proscription of alternative opposition cannot produce a credible and legitimate outcome. Parliament can therefore not sit to debate CAP 3 when the mandatory process of public consultation set out in Section 141 of the Constitution were flouted and abused. In short, the second reading debate commencing in Parliament today cannot take place given the farce regarding and arresting the process of public consultation getting us today. So in our submission, CAP 3 must be withdrawn and withdrawn courtesy namhla. As Parliament commences this debate, every member of Parliament must be alive to the weight of the history and obligation that lies on his or her shoulders. The aspirations of millions of Zimbabweans, their dreams, their hopes, lie on the conscience of the 280 men and women honored to be Zimbabwe members of Parliament. The blood and memory of King Lobengula, King Muzilikazi, Chagwe Nehanda, Chaminuka, Benjamin Murombo, Lookout Masuku, Ndabaningi Sitole, Herbert Wilfe Chitepo, Edson Sitole, Dumiso Dabengwa, Gibson Zibanda, Morgan Richard Changirai, Tonderai Ndira, and many others surround and suffocate these MPs. They must debate with their conscience. They must debate with the purity of their own heart. The eyes of their conscience must guide them. History will judge them. History will condemn them. History will desecrate their graves and the graves of their grandchildren. They must know the weight of history. They cannot betray. They cannot sell out Zimbabweans. We expect them to do right. Their constituencies expect them to do right. As I'm standing here before you, 210 court applications have been filed by multiple citizens across the length and breadth of Zimbabweans against each and every single member of Parliament, asking them to do the right thing, demanding and questioning from them where they derive the mandate to amend the Constitution. Because in 2023, they didn't campaign on the mandate of amending and removing the Constitution. So they must vote right. And I must express our concern over the news we've just received that ZANU-PF and its junta and the police are now following each of the applicants, each of the people who have brought those applications against 210 people. And in Matabele and South right now, all the people who were signatories to those applications are now being pursued. To what end and for what purpose? Further, we demand that any vote taken in Parliament must be by way of secret ballot. This is an elementary standard consistent with constitutionalism and the rule of law. This is a standard which our Supreme Court, the highest court in the land, in the case of the Speaker of Parliament and Dodana Moyo, way back in 2008, confirmed was sacrosanct. We regret the brazen arrogance and hubris of ZANU-PF leadership. We regret their failure to learn from history. We regret their failure to ignore the blunt lesson of 2017, that you can't privatize Zimbabwe, that neither your children nor your wife nor your friends can receive the baton stick of Zimbabwe, that Zimbabwe is not a private limited company that can be passed on like a dirty tired tax shop. We regret that. It surely cannot be about whoever wins, wins. Any leader, responsibility, maturity, and soberness requires that only that there be one winner in Zimbabwe, and that is the people of Zimbabwe. Any leader or individual that does not recognize this tried truism is not fit for office. Thus, as we veer towards a potential dark theater of the macabre, we call for a soft landing for Zimbabwe. We call for a constitutional solution. Given the failures of the current government in its regime,